Life, merriment.
Survival for expats.
In the concrete forest.
On Friday nights.
You spelled her name wrong. Okay. Whew. My goodness. Okay.
Sorry, we're just laughing because my name has been spelt wrong on the chat.
She's Iona Rose Macabre.
Macabre. It's been put on the screen.
It doesn't macabre.
Just get rid of the R.
Yeah.
Simple.
If you want to follow her on
It's hard to spell anyway, but...
Yeah, just not the R in front of Rose, though. There's two R's. It's very confusing.
Okay, too many
Okay,
R's.
anyway, B. Lead us onwards.
Right, so I've been handed the iPad. It's, we're being quite sharey today with responsibility. Yep. And so we were just talking about how basically I was geared to be a high-flying lawyer, and now I'm pretty much not. But I think my parents are still there for me.
Yeah? Mm. What was your mom like? Was she, because your mom's Western,
My mom's
right?
Western.
Yeah.
Well, considering the fact that she was married to my father, who's Asian, and then after that, she is now with another Asian man, and basically she has a strong Asian fetish, and you know what? Each of those men keep getting high fives, and I'm like, why? My mother's pretty interesting.
Your mom's pretty, though.
Yeah, she.
Your mom's like very like...
She's super skinny.
mean, I don't know what happened to you, because what happened there? Very confused. You got Kelvin so handsome, your mom's so pretty, and then there's you. I don't know what happened.
Gold, pure gold happened,
gold.
Cassie. Moving on. And I don't really know how to. Okay, so the other thing we could talk about from Hong Kong is actually that. So we were just talking about Asian sort of pressure and stuff, which I never actually felt that hard. Like, I was pretty much told...
I felt a lot of pressure growing up. I was like under...
And you rebelled against it.
I rebelled against it completely.
I did the correct thing where I had like a tiny bit of pressure and I just kind of went with it and just sort of was like, okay, parents, I will academically exceed your expectations, and then they just laid off, and it's all good. So I went to university, I got my degree, and now I'm leading a pretty cushy life, and it's pretty nice, and
Yeah, no,
it's about appeasing the oldies.
Yeah. I mean, I did well at school. I just, I was badly behaved. I didn't, I got good grades, but I was sort of, I was never like a star student.
I mean, when it comes to education, I feel like you should just kind of follow what you want to do. I feel like you get lots of pressure. Well, some people get pressure from their parents, like, you should do this, you should be a doctor, you should be a lawyer. I feel like no matter what kind of qualification you end up getting, be it a degree or not a degree, I feel whatever your interests are, you should just kind of go with that. I feel it's going to push you further. Art degree,
and now for every person from Hong Kong that's watching this is going, bloody Westerners, they don't even know what they're talking about.
Those creative types.
I mean, they've been in Kumon for years.
Yeah.
Like, I experienced all of that. Like you don't even understand, and just do it and get over it, and then make enough money and move out of it. That's how I feel. Yeah. But what happens in Hong Kong actually that I found, and it's actually prevalent across the world, especially for our generation, is that none of us really want to get a job. We kind of think that someone told us on the internet or something.
That damn internet.
No one can remember who told us, but someone told us, hey, kids, 1 degree is not good enough anymore. You should have 3 or 6 or 12.
Yeah, well, I think people who do that, I think it's more laziness out of anything else. They just want to fucking chill.
As someone who never went to university, please don't call university work lazy. Because I can tell you...
They want their parents to continue paying.
I can tell you 30,000-page dissertations every 3 months is not lazy. I can tell you that right now.
I get that, but I think, like, I have friends who literally, like, I don't want a job, so I'm going to get my master's. Get my doctorate. I mean, it's not laziness. It's more they don't want to work. And
they'll be unrelated. You'll find people doing I mean, I did literature at university. It's clearly not going to get me anywhere. And then when I graduated, I started looking at Hong Kong U, and I was like, oh, are there any degrees I wanted to do here? And I started looking at things like Chinese porcelain art. I was literally reading this for about 4 days, like, hey, Dad, maybe I'll do some work in Chinese porcelain art. And my dad just looks at me and goes, what the fuck? And he was just like, Beatrice, I am not an ATM. You can't just go through a degree because you are bored.
Yeah, no, I have a friend who's doing, what was it, like gender studies as her master's at Oxford. Right. And I'm just like, why?
It's money down the toilet, everybody. I met with a careers person from HKU, and she was like, it's so obvious on your CV when you're just adding things and adding things. Don't do it. Just go get actual work experience.
Yeah, it's coming from us, though. We don't have real jobs.
I have, like, a crazy CV, Cassie.
Okay, maybe.
Yeah, my CV's not too bad either.
I've rarely had a full-time. I mean, I think the longest I've ever had a full-time job was about a week or so. Like, I can't hold down a full-time job. I'm fucking useless.
Well, I'm doing an internship at the moment. My internship I'm really enjoying. Like, I'm not getting paid for it, but it's good work experience. Where or what is it?
Yeah, what is your internship?
Oh, well, I'm doing basically kind of an editorial assistant role, so for fashion magazines.
This is perfect for you.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy writing, enjoy fashion. My first word was shoes, so I kind of always knew that I would be in that kind of field.
I love how your first word was shoe, and our first word, I believe, was no.
That was my second.
Yeah, no, and then my second was mummy to my helper. I went to my helper, I went, mummy.
And my second word was something along the lines of remote control. I clearly couldn't say both the words, but according to my family, the first object I understood was a remote control, and that I wanted it to change channels. So that's me and my dad's
What was on the
upbringing.
channel that was offending you so much that you had to say your first word in order to turn it off?
Considering the fact I spent a lot of time with my maid, it was probably a lot of weird, emotional Filipino drama.
I watch a lot of that now, though.
Right?
Okay, so I live with my helper and her 15-year-old daughter, which is a really weird living arrangement. But literally every time I'm like, oh,
he's
I wanna watch
super
some
like
TV.
emotional.
I switch it on and it's like,
ay nako.
I'm in so much pain.
Yeah, no, it's so funny. I actually I got really addicted to one recently, so I just watch it all the time. But
You've been watching Filipino The Voice, because that's all I get to watch now at the moment.
Oh God.
It's the children's The Voice as well. So I have a 7-year-old just whine. Anyway, moving on.
Red?
Yes, that'd be great.
Lovely.
And that leads us on. We're doing quite well at this leading on thing. I didn't even have to look at the iPad.
We didn't have to do non sequiturs.
Leading on, that's another job that we quite want to touch on, and that's going to move away from our more sort of negative approach to the other jobs. You know, we can't help it. We're cynical people.
We're just,
but okay, I don't know if you've been reading the SCMP recently, but there's this whole phenomenon. Well, it shouldn't be new, but apparently it is, and it's about the maids in Hong Kong and how that they should get a raise and all this stuff. And
of course, and then they don't even get minimum wage right now.
They don't get minimum wage. It's disgusting.
You probably understand less having not grown up in Hong Kong. So just for you guys to know, B and I grew up in Hong Kong. We were born here. Iona is a recent import from England. So you probably don't quite understand. I feel like a lot of people don't realise what maids mean to people here.
We had the same domestic helper for our entire lives.
Yeah,
our entire lives.
My entire life. And my helper is more like a mother to me than my mother would ever have been.
Mine is
I feel like
equal
I feel like coming from a background where I haven't had them, I feel like if I was to have a helper in the future, I would respect them so much.
They look after you. They go out of the way to look after you.
Yeah.
And they have all this, and they do all this overtime. Like mine, by choice. Please, can I not get hate mail to my family that we overwork our helper or anything? But by choice, she wakes up at 5 in the morning and then just does things. Even though the rest of the house doesn't wake up for ages, she does that. She stays up really late at night, making sure everything's perfect, and that's crazy. I mean, crazy domestic helper stories. Well, we both read the thread.
I've had a friend they'd make the helper work on the day off. Before she went out to see her friends, she'd have to walk the dogs, do the dishes from the night before. They barely fed her because they're meant to have. You're
meant to feed them, and hardly any of them get fed. I was shocked by this. It was only because I read the SCMP thread where I heard.
I was seeing the helpers making the complaints,
and they would not get paid. They have to work all day. They sometimes work Sundays. They will have to, if they get a text saying we're not going to be back to 1 a.m. They have to stay up and cook dinner, and then sometimes they have to wash their neighbor's car, or they have to go look up they have to go look after their neighbor's kids or something.
All the friends of the family. I know somebody whose helper. They just lend her out to
It's crazy.
Other families because they need a helper, and it's like. Yeah.
And most of the time, the family will pocket some cash for it.
Yeah.
The helper will never see it.
Yeah.
My mother has a family that lives next to her. We don't really like them because they're just not very nice people. Yeah. And their helpers are from Indonesia.
And the Indonesians are treated the worst.
They get treated completely the worst, and they don't get any day off in the week. Any day. They don't get any holiday. So their ones had actually been there for 3.5 years when I found out about it. 3.5 years without having seen one day off and without ever having taken a holiday, and they're not allowed to take sick leaves.
It's ridiculous. I don't agree with it at all.
Yeah, no, it really does make me very angry. It's an issue close to my heart.
Okay. This is probably falling on deaf ears because I feel like
sorry guys.
I feel like that this is something that has fallen on deaf ears for many years in Hong Kong, and we, you know, I've watched your show many times. It's not a like we don't talk about serious things, but that's just something that I think, especially me and Cassie, feel extremely.
I mean, and since we're talking about careers, I think that if we were without helpers, Hong Kong society would completely collapse. If you think about it, people wouldn't like be able to work as hard as they did. Yeah, like when I went away to boarding school, I had no idea how to do anything. I was literally like a newborn child. I could not tie my shoelaces. I could not make my bed. I could not do anything.
You couldn't tie your shoelaces?
No, I still kind of can't tie my shoelaces.
Oh God.
Is that why you wear flip-flops?
That's
and I have no common sense.
Yeah, no, I'm actually startlingly lacking.
I remember when I told
I don't believe.
You don't find it startling?
If you find it startling, please comment. But if you don't, I'm going to expect silence. Okay?
It's just
that's a lot to do with the lack.
Very slow.
Yeah, like what is this lack of comments, guys?
Yeah, guys.
And don't worry, girls. I flunked exams the whole time. I'm an A-star student, everyone. You can't tell.
I didn't flunk exams either. I was pretty good at school.
Okay, Cassie.
But don't worry, Joe. I got your back.
Yeah, take Cassie and Iona.
Cassie and Iona.
He's with you, girls.
Oh, fuck you, dude. Yeah, no, anyway, so guys, feel free to send in questions or any sort of comments, because we love seeing any feedback.
Or if you want us to do something stupid, I'm pretty sure we've got pretty low...
Oh, where's our horse head?
We had a horse head last time.
Yeah, last time we had a horse head.
Yeah,
they tried to put it on me, but I'm really claustrophobic.
Is that the one the Godfather woke up with in bed?
Yeah,
kind
that
of
was
an
exactly.
uncomfortable moment.
It was a
It's
real...
got the worst hangover ever, really. Sorry if that went over everyone's head.
You wake up next to like the ugliest person on earth. That's
life.
That's life.
That's life.
That's life. That's a Friday night.
I mean, Cassie, I have to see your face every day.
Yeah, that's true. Isn't she lucky?
And since we just got heated, and the first thing I thought when we got heated was, can we please take maybe 4 minutes to talk about the Hong Kong taxi situation at the moment? I might be late on this.
God.
Like, I might be late to jump on this bandwagon.
Talking about careers where I think taxi drivers are secret millionaires.
Literally.
Oh, yeah.
Like huge bowler houses.
Living in the peak, like rocking life, like dropping money in DI with all those big tables.
Got 4 like wives, like just chilling by the pool.
Have you noticed in the past year, suddenly you're in like Central or Lang Kwai Fong, not Soho, but Central Lang Kwai Fong, and it's like, it's the weekend, it's Friday or Saturday,
even
and
worse
it's as early as 7 p.m. Suddenly every taxi is suddenly a Kowloon taxi, and I thought, stupid me, I was like, wow, suddenly people must live in Kowloon a lot more now. And then no, they start like driving past me, and I've been waiting for a cab for half an hour, and then they score and go, $200. And I'm like, but I want to go to Conduit Road. Yeah. I'm in Central. I'm like, I want to go to Conduit Road. Yeah. That's normally like a $35 cab.
We all live in mid-levels, and it's
and they're like $200.
I only get that on Halloween. I remember like kicking the doors. Halloween. Like I try and they're allowed. They have to take you.
Yeah,
you try and get in.
Once you get in, you have to.
They have to take you.
That doesn't happen anymore. They kick you out.
All of us are spoiled. That's not very nice, Sunny. You're not living up to your name of Sunny Day.
We have jobs, I swear.
We do have jobs.
No,
I
but
have multiple jobs.
We are
spoiled.
We're lucky. I think we're lucky.
Yeah, unfortunate for sure.
Anyway, let's move on with the taxi thing.
Taxis.
They will charge you anything. They've started doing this where they'll take you where you want to go, and if you pay them the amount of the meter, they get angry, and you're like, I'm like.
No, the worst is where they don't want to give you change. Like you give them like $5, hoping to get like 3 back, and then they just won't give you the 2. Like I'd happily give you the $2, but like don't just keep my money without my consent.
Yeah,
it's like being on a date and you want the girl to at least move towards her wallet. Even like you may not necessarily want her to pay, but like you at least make the move.
Make the effort.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, no, it is irritating. I think the worst thing is that they don't like to pick up Guilos, because I think they're scared that they don't speak enough English, and they think we're going to just yell at them in English, which is what my mother does. My mother was born in Hong Kong and cannot speak.
Let's not reveal all your family feelings in one show, Cassie.
Not a word of Cassie's.
We'll give you a whole episode at some
point.
A whole
episode about Cassie's family.
I'll be Dr. Phil for you. I'll dress up with the moustache and everything.
We can get my mom on the show.
Oh,
that would be.
Please.
Oh, please no. Oh, please no.
No, what was the other thing? Oh yeah, the other thing, I feel like they don't want to pick you, the taxis don't want to pick you up. Like, say, we all live in mid-levels, as we just said, but if I want to go to LKF for the night, and I mean, I don't dress very sluttily, just saying, but I do look like I'm going out, like I'm wearing jeans, heels, whatever. Straight away they think LKF, straight past
they
me.
don't want to go on a short journey.
I'm like, come on.
It's worse when you live in Kowloon side, though, trying to get to bloody, like, Lohas Park, where I used to live. Holy crap, they won't take you. They'll just be like, no.
That sounds like a place in
It's
Sims 3. It literally sounds like a place in Sims 3.
It's out like
It's in capitals as well. I never really understood why it was in capital letters, Low
It's
House.
by Saikung, kind of. Like it's miles out. I like living there. Anyway, moving on. Another thing I wanted to talk about was property agents. I think property agents must be loving their jobs. The commissions
in this economy, I don't think property agents are loving their job at all, Cassie.
The thing is, they are just such fucking scam artists. I hate them so much.
Who isn't a scam artist
in business? In Asia, who
I
is
am
not
so aware of
a scam
scamming
artist?
people every day with my job, which people have yet to.
Yeah, no one's guessing.
No one's guessed my job yet.
No one's guessed my job.
Or mine.
Y'all are failing.
Y'all are failing. I find I was recently looking for a new apartment, and you go, okay, I want something around 15,000 a month. I want this area. They start showing you immediately $25,000.
Oh my god! Yeah.
And then you fall in love with the place, and you're just like, I can't afford
Well, that's like
this.
with shoes. You walk in, and then they tell you, they're like, what kind of shoes are you looking for? You go, oh, I want some shoes, but I want them to be X. And then they'll be like, what about X plus 50%? And then you'll be like, no, but then they show it to you,
Yeah,
and
you're
it's
like, I need it.
and I'm like, I know what you're doing.
I know your
I know what
plan.
you're doing.
I know your plan. I've had that happen so many times, but I feel like guys who are in like corporate property are like, they behave like bankers. They sort of like go out all the time. They sort of party hard.
Never.
You don't know anyone who works in a corporate bank?
No,
I don't think I've come across that.
Yeah, no?
No.
Well, there's quite a few of our friends do it, but I can't be bothered to like name and shame
Oh,
them.
actually, I know one that we all know.
Great.
Yeah. Anyway, this is getting like not interesting territory.
It's because we basically run out of bullet points on our. I'm not gonna lie, but like someone write something really quickly.
Yes, so someone recently. People in tech also. I feel people in tech work really hard here. I feel because we're going to keep.
But I think everyone, I've spoken to quite a few people who have worked in New York and have worked in London and work here, and all of them say that in Hong Kong, it's actually, and this is mainly people who work in banking and advertising, but they say that it's a lot more stressful in New York. Everyone's louder, everyone's a lot more verbal and aggressive. Of course, everyone's from like New Jersey that works in New York. And then here, it's a lot more sort of tame. People aren't gonna stand over you and go, like wear an alpha male.
I think it's more passive here.
No,
passive aggressive.
but here, here what they said was it's longer hours and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, I feel definitely it's passive aggressive with my job. My boss is always, she won't tell me you fucked up. I get a pay rise if I fuck up because she's like, that gives you incentive not to fuck up. Like the other day, she called me in and I thought I was gonna be fired.
You get a pay rise when you fuck up?
Yeah, that's the weirdest thing I've ever heard.
She called me in.
Is this woman bankrupt? Because she has terrible business sense.
It was ridiculous. She called me in and I was like, God, I'm definitely getting fired. She goes, so you've been late 4 times this week and you've cancelled like 3 times this week and like all of this, and I go,
hey,
here it comes. She goes, okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to raise your pay to give you incentive to actually come ahead.
You know what that is? That's exactly what my dad's girlfriend does. Whenever my dog pees on my bed, my dad's girlfriend goes, girlfriend goes, Humphrey, no, you should not do that. Oh, so cute. And then he starts barking, and in order to shut him up, she's like, oh, Humphrey, no, stop barking. He's right. And then gives him like a $75 treat, because apparently his food should be more expensive than everyone else in the family
entire family. Yeah, that's true. Spoiled dogs are a thing here.
Oh, okay. Spoiled dogs.
Okay, anyways, so we're going to go to commercial break now, so we'll see you guys in a bit.
After the break.
Bye.